Hello and welcome back to another video, and today, as you can see, we're here on GP Bikes once again, and today we're going to try and beat Jorge Martin's 2024 pole position time at Qatar. So if you saw the Bagnaia video we did a few weeks ago now at the Sepang test, it's going to be very similar to that. I'm going to try on GP Bikes to match the lap time that's done in real life. Of course, there is going to be some inconsistencies in terms of the game versus real life, but it's a fun little challenge to have a go at. And Martin managed to do a 1 minute 50.789, which is a very, very fast lap time. And really, we didn't do too well on the Bagnaia challenge. We're about a second, just over a second off his time. I only give myself about 10 laps to do these challenges so that I don't have all day to go around doing it. But this time, I'm really not sure how it's going to go because the version of Qatar that we have in the game isn't particularly great. So yeah, it could end up being a little bit inaccurate. But without any further ado, let's get down to the track and get straight into it. So here we are then coming out of the pits, and you can see already it does look pretty big, the sort of the pit wall there, and it also looks quite old, the circuit. You can see there's not much around the outside of it. It looks more like 2004 spec than anything. Now that's probably kind of good, I guess. It'll give us maybe a bit more FPS, but I can see here this is an extremely inaccurate version of the circuit, so I think we may struggle or we may be at an advantage. I'm not too sure. It looks very flat as well. There's a lot more undulation. Maybe something we'll have to have a go at some point, maybe making a more up-to-date version of Qatar. But for now, it will be fine. And of course, it is in the daytime. That's one, a restriction of the game, but two, also they did actually qualify in the day in real life. So I was actually a little bit worried going in because I kind of forgot that they qualify in the day. Because I was thinking, I'm pretty sure there's not a night variant to this track, but there you go. We didn't have to worry about it at all anyway. And I'm pretty sure I just saw through the track on the outside there, the outside of turn 6. Pretty sure there was sort of a little gap that you could see through the circuit. So I think quite an old version of Qatar, even in terms of just basing it off the layout, but I also think it's a very old mod. So you can see it's quite basic, quite flat. A lot of just sort of green around the outside of the track, not really much else. And of course, recently, they have had the track revamped, so there's lots of nice paint work around the outside. And of course, those Misano curves that were so famous over the weekend. But even still, we've not done too bad on this art lap, because usually I struggle to get up to grips with the MotoGP 23 mod. As I say that, I've ran completely off the track, so completely ignore me. We've done what sort of Marquez did in the sprint race and Acosta did in the main race, so I think Marquez actually went off at this one here. But even still, not been too bad of an out lap. It's going to take a while to get used to this bike again, though, because most of the time when I play the game, it is the SBK22 mod. But I've not even played the game for about a week, probably, so there's even more trying to get up to speed. But here we go then, through the last turn. What can we do? Coming up towards the line. Try and put the power down. We touched the AstroTurf a little bit there, so it will have cost us a bit of time up towards the line. Of course, the start-finish line is in the old position because it only got changed for this season. And, wow, that's a big stoppie. That's a big stoppie. That bike's not stopping, is it? No, it is not. And we have done a bit of an Ayumi Sasaki, I guess you'd say, that he did in Moto 2, although he got much further towards the barrier and it looked like he's probably taking some evasive action. But there you go. That is lap 1 destroyed. I'll tell you what, I just grabbed the brake way too hard. That's the thing with this mod. The brakes are pretty bad. So you have to try and grab them a lot to actually get the bike to stop. And on this instance, I overcooked it quite a bit there because we had a pretty big stoppie. And once the bike gets unsettled, that is it. Because this game's more about how you brake than actually where you brake. It's not like the milestone games where you can sort of pull it down. And even if you had a stoppie, if you can bring the rear back down, you can sort of still get the bike stopped. Here, you're kind of screwed. There's not much you can really do about it. Worth noting that we did 2:04 apparently on the out lap. So that actually counted towards the lap. So I'll have to remember that it'll actually be lap 11 that we've got to go to, because the first lap, despite being an out lap, actually counted on the times. And again, we've done the same thing into the right-handers, so really got to watch out for that. The bike just doesn't have a lot of natural turning either. This mod is a bit of a pain to ride, but of course, when you are trying to go against the MotoGP lap times, you've got to use the MotoGP mod that is available, and this is the one. So here we are then, up towards the line. Hopefully it is second time lucky here. Hopefully we don't completely mess up turn 1 again. Considering that crash, that wasn't too bad at 2:11. Maybe not too out of reach this lap time, but we will see. So 1 minute 50 is very, very fast at Qatar. I mean, the lap times have been ridiculous lately, and we've got off already, but we'll keep it going. We'll keep it going if we haven't crashed, but again, the bike just really not wanting to pull down to that corner. That was a bit sketchy there as well. The bike definitely dipped down, so I guess we found one part of the track that wasn't flat. There was a bit of a dip in there, definitely. Rear end is not happy, though. What's the engine braking on? Engine braking 8. I might actually turn that down a setting or two because it seems very, very aggressive. Even though I know I said I was struggling to stop, the rear is coming round on me, which is worse really than running a bit hot in, so might be worth taking the sacrifice. But getting a lot of wheelies as well, even with the highest anti-wheelie setting. Just again, just a bit of a pain with this mod, and we're spinning a lot with the high structure control. So overall, electronics not being a big help for us today. Well, unfortunately, it was another crash. Again, the first of the triple rights getting the better of us. Worrying thing was we were only 5 seconds under, so that would literally only just take us into the 1 minute 50s, like the 59. So we are certainly going to need a bit more than that, because currently, obviously, the outlap is the time that's top. And yes, there is an extent where I will probably find a bit more time off of the first flyer. I ain't going to find 10 seconds worth, so it maybe suggests to me that the track is a little bit big. I did think that before, so we will have to try and factor that in, because you can see it looks massive, right, compared to so we'll have to figure out the actual length of the straight and maybe like use some sort of percentage to work out the lap time in the end. And someone again, please pull down, please, please, please. No, it's going again, it's going again. Oh, we just about got it stopped. We ran a bit wide, but we got it stopped, so that's better than running off into the Astro again. Speaking of running off into the Astro, another missed apex there. I never make myself look very good, do I, when I play this game? Not that I particularly look good playing the MotoGP game either, but I certainly make myself look really amateur when I play this game every time. But trust me, it's difficult to just jump on. And yeah, I'm not a massive fan of how you have to ride this mod. Oh, it is a handful. It does not want to turn in for some of those fast corners towards the end of the lap, the triple rights especially, but then even the penultimate turn, I struggle to get it to turn through. There we are then, coming up towards the line. We are 8.5 seconds underneath, so a bit more respectable. That's going to still be a way off though, 1 minute 55, so that's still 4 seconds. That is not an insignificant amount. I was hoping we'd do better than the Pecco challenge, but so far we're going to do a lot worse. But I think, to be fair, we can blame the track a little bit more on this one, because you can see it's clear as day. It's obviously not a one-to-one creation, so I think it's a bit longer, bit scaled up compared to what it should be. Oh no, we're off at turn 6 again. Trying to pull the bike down just has not worked whatsoever. I think I was saying at the start of the lap I was 4 seconds off, but having looked at the actual decimal place, it's a 55.8, so it's definitely 5 seconds off, which is even worse potentially, because there's not 5 seconds in this. I mean, well, I suppose there is. There is definitely 5 seconds. I mean, it's not like I'm riding well and making a lot of mistakes. I'm struggling with the bike, but there's not 5 seconds in 5 laps. Or I suppose I get to go to lap 11. I did forget about that, so that's true. It's worth noting. This one was rough. 15.9 seconds off. Hopefully the next one is a bit better. No, it was not better. I was under through turn 1. I kind of forced it a little bit into turn 1 and kind of thought, oh, maybe I should try that again for turn 2. It didn't work. It's the rear end. It's the rear end just steps out as I try and tip in. It's not working well. It's fair. This was a much tidier lap. You can see I have a few attempts underneath in all the sectors, aside from the first one, but it's still not going to be nearly enough. But yeah, I'm not feeling too good about this, because I think, in fairness, it's not entirely down to me this time, whereas obviously it's a pang. I think a better rider would have done it. Well, I mean, a better rider could probably do it here. There's probably riders that can take seconds out of me, and to be fair, I could take seconds out of me. I'm not riding the best, but I think the track is also pretty scaled pretty wrong, because I'm very far off the time, and I didn't expect to be that far off. So I think at this point, if I can get a 54, I'll take it, which is not great considering the pole was a 50. I'm pretty sure I'll be battling for Moto 2 pole probably at the pace I'm on. Or I'm running the kind of lap times they're running in that wet session that they had on Friday. I'll tell you what, this has been a decent improvement. Nearly a second, and that was with a huge mistake I made in the middle sector as well. It ran off the track completely. So still a 55, but almost a 54. I did change the target to that, so I think we can do that. Okay, so we've got another big improvement here, half a second. So come up towards the line then. We've got 2 laps to go. About 6 tenths actually was in the end, so 54.5. So even still, we're a good 3.5 seconds off. Like, was it a 50.7 is the time to beat? So we're good like 3.5 seconds off still. So it's just not going to happen, is it? Unfortunately. Ah, down we go into turn 7. I kind of was a little bit wide on entry. I think I might have just touched the Astra actually on the entry, and then had to like sort of overcook it into the turn. So just wasn't going to pull that one down. So I suppose we've got one more attempt at this, and we've got just enough fuel to do that as well. So that will be our 10th flying lap on the next one. And I must say, I was really hoping we'd be closer here. I wasn't sure which way it would go. I thought we'd either be miles off or, you know, miles too quick based on the track, to be fair. When I was thinking back to the version that we had in this game, I thought it was either going to be way too big or way too small. It seems like it's too big. I think you could get there. I mean, there's definitely people that can go 4 seconds quicker than me, so there's people that could do it, but for me, it is just a little bit too far. Like, if I'm like a second off the time or something, I could kind of, you know, say fair enough, but when I'm this far off, I do think there's a little bit going on. And to be fair, that last lap was quite tidy. There's still a bit more time, but yeah, I mean, well, there's always more time. There's always more time. If I was going around all day, I could get a lot closer, but I don't think I could beat it. Whereas with the Banyaya one, I felt like I could beat it if I went long enough. But here we go then. This is it. Our final lap. Let's see what we can do. Oh, and we've had a crash at the same corner again. Are you joking me? Ah, there we go. It always ends with a crash, doesn't it? One of these videos. But yeah, that was a tough one. I think our back was kind of against the wall with that. I mean, obviously, the lap time itself is ridiculous anyway, but to do it, I think, on this version of the track, I just don't think it was going to happen. And you can see, I mean, the corners are like sort of the wrong radius and things like that. You know, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, and it does look absolutely huge. But I will stop making excuses and accept the L once again. So that's 0 for 2 so far. But I'll say for this series, the series are doing it for the 2024 qualifying times, I'll just say it's 0 for 1 so far, so it makes me sound a little bit better. Hopefully, Portimao should be an improvement, because we have actually recently had a new Portimao for this game, so hopefully we'll be able to be a bit closer. It is tricky in this game because of the elevation changes, but I think it's a bit safer, actually, this current version, so we will have to see. And I know at some tracks it definitely will be possible to get close to lap times, because I've tested it in previous years with some of the times, and I should be able to get close to them. But I think, to be fair, 2024, they've took such a big step in terms of lap time, especially at this circuit and at Sepang as well. It was always going to be pretty tricky. But hopefully you guys did enjoy that one. Like I sort of alluded to there, I'm going to be doing this for every single race of the season. So hopefully we will actually get some wins over the course of the year. But I guess we will find out when we actually get there. Will we go back to the MotoGP game a little bit as well, doing some Karema videos potentially, and then maybe some other little bits as well. But I will keep that a bit of a secret for now. But like I did say, I hope you did enjoy that one. If you aren't new to the channel, please do like the video and subscribe, because it really does help me out. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you'll stay safe, and I shall see you in the next one.